Because of the peculiarities of how the calendar falls this year, we are now ready for Christmas and have a full week of Christmas here at St. John's Cathedral. This coming Sunday, we will have our Christmas Festival of Lessons and Carols. And then, of course, the next Sunday is Christmas Eve, is the 24th. The Festival of Lessons and Carols has become a real offering from the choir to the congregation. It's become something that's been very popular over the past several years now, almost a decade. And it's a service that gets its roots in Truro, England, at the cathedral in Truro, which is way out on the coast on Cornwall. And it was an invention by the dean of the cathedral in 1880. It was his idea of giving people something to do on Christmas Eve, to come together and read all of the history of salvation, to read how God has prepared for salvation in the person of Jesus Christ all through the history of the First Testament and leading up then into the Nativity story. And then, of course, it got picked up very quickly, very early on by King's College in Cambridge, and that's the way that most of us know about the Festival of Lessons and Carols. And they have the magic number 9. They do 9 readings with carols and anthems interspersed in between. We've done a variety of forms. There's no set form. This is not in the prayer book. This is something that is a fairly loose liturgical format. We're doing 6 lessons this year, and we have readings that both foretell, but then also tell the story of Jesus' birth. And of course, some beautiful music, familiar Christmas carols, really a wonderful, wonderful service. The first thing that the choir will sing on their own is an interesting carol that is a folk tune from the English countryside, The Truth Sent from Above. This was collected by Ralph Vaughan Williams. And it's not necessarily the most familiar of the Christmas carols, and yet the funny thing is, for the 100 plus years that King's College has done it, they have sung this carol every year, but somehow it sort of gets lost in the shuffle, and it's not the most memorable thing, but and yet it's a really beautiful carol in its own right. We'll follow that by some other, again, very popular carols. We'll be singing, the tenors and basses of the choir will be singing a rich, sonorous setting of the prayer Ave Maria by the German composer Franz Biebel. We'll have the trebles on hand. They'll be singing several solos on the carols. And of course, we'll have our brass quartet and timpani to add to the festivity. So we hope as you are putting the final touches on your Christmas preparations, you will join us this Sunday at 10:30 in church for our lessons and carols. Note that there will be no communion at that service. It is a service of lessons and carols. There will be communion in the chapel at 8 o'clock on this coming Sunday. And we invite you then to follow us on our website and see all of the different Christmas service offerings that we have on Christmas Eve.